Cars 2 is infamously known as one of the most hated animated sequels. No, animated movies of all time. The question is, why? The first movie, released in 2006, was a major success that has made around $240 million in the box office. Now, this was probably because it included Mr. Wowzers over here, my favorite actor, Swagger. Owen Wilson was definitely one of the reasons that this movie did as well as it did, but even if it didn't include him, this movie would have still been a hit. It's about a cocky, young race car named Lightning McQueen who. Wait, is that actually his real name? Montgomery McQueen? Lightning is on his way to a race in Los Angeles, which, if he wins, he will receive one Piston Cup. I say one because he later goes on to win like 4 of them. Anyways, Lightning gets knocked off of his transport truck, Mac, and ends up being caught by the sheriff of a small town named Radiator Springs. There he meets Mater, Sally, and all these other people who help him learn that sometimes you just need to slow down and appreciate the little things in life. So then the second film throws it all away. Once a movie becomes popular enough, the company that made the film will most likely start working on a sequel at some point. At some point. So Pixar began working on Cars 2, which eventually released in 2011. And the world hated it. But why did they despise such a glorious experience that was more than worthy of you paying $10 to go see it, and another $35 for the large popcorn which you devoured before the previews were even over? Today, I will answer this burning question when I watch Cars 2. For like the 8th time. We start things off with a transmission from the secret agent, Leland Turbo, who is located in an oil rig. He is making this message to a car named Finn McMissile, one of his fellow secret agents, who is the true main character even though Pixar refuses to admit it. Leland sends Finn the coordinates of the oil rig he is on before he is caught by 2 shadowy car figures. Finn is now traveling to the oil rig on a boat named Krabby? Voiced by Sig Hansen. Wait. The only other movies he's been in is Deadliest Catch. So how did he go from catching fish to this masterpiece? After Finn makes it onto the oil rig, he tries to contact Leland, but Leland doesn't answer. Meanwhile, he notices a large group of rusty, beat-up cars, which most people in the movie refer to as lemons. These lemons are accompanied by a German weapons designer named Professor Zundap. Some of the lemons bring a crate with a normal-looking television camera inside of it over to Zundap, who tells them that it is very dangerous. Then, another group of lemons bring over another crate with a crushed-up metal cube. The remains of Leland Turbo. Suddenly, Zundap spots Finn, and all the lemons begin to chase after him to kill him since he has seen the camera and taken pictures of it. Finn barely escapes, and we cut to Mater. After about 6 minutes of filler with Lightning and Mater, we are first introduced to Sir Miles Axelrod through a news report. Axelrod is an oil tycoon who converted into an electric car and sold his oil industry to devote his life to creating safe, renewable fuel for all to use, called All in All. To show what this new fuel can do, he has created a 3-course racing competition called the World Grand Prix, which he invites the best racers from around the globe to compete in. This news program also features an interview with a World Grand Prix competitor named Francesco Bernoulli, who is the best character, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Francesco calls out McQueen live on TV, which makes McQueen enter himself into the World Grand Prix. Lightning, Mater, and the rest of the pit crew travel on a plane to Tokyo, which is where the first race takes place. Immediately, Lightning is embarrassed by Mater, who doesn't know how to behave himself. Later, Finn confuses an agent for Mater, and Mater is dragged into all of these spy car shenanigans. During the first race of the World Grand Prix, it is revealed that the camera from before is actually an electromagnetic pulse emitter, being used by the lemons to explode the engines of the racers. This causes the media to accuse All in All of being the cause of these sudden disasters, but Axelrod denies that All in All is dangerous. While Mater is doing his job in the Lightning's pit crew, Finn tells him to get out of there, which eventually causes Mater to give Lightning some bad advice that makes him lose the race. Lightning has an outburst at Mater, which sets up the plot that nobody likes Mater and that he is just an annoying tow truck. Later, Finn takes Mater on a plane so that they can get more information about who they think the leader of the lemons is, because they know it is not Zundap. Finn has Mater sneak into a lemon meeting. They are hoping that the leader of the lemons will arrive at the meeting, which takes place in a casino in the fictional city of Portocorsa, Italy, which just so happens to be the location of the second World Grand Prix race. Unfortunately, the lemon leader does not appear at the meeting, and Mater and the other agents are captured and brought to Big Ben in London, which is where the last race of the World Grand Prix takes place. During this final race, the lemons try to use the camera to explode Lightning's engine, but for some reason, it fails. Mater and the rest of the agents escape from inside of Big Ben, and somehow, they make it to the Queen of England. Also, Mater somehow figure out that Sir Miles Axelrod is actually the leader of the lemons. Axelrod's motive for creating All in All and the World Grand Prix is that he can make alternative fuels, like All in All, look bad so that all cars will go back to using only gasoline. Why did he do this? Well, that's a good question. Also, the Queen makes Mater a knight, so that's pretty cool. This movie is not bad. At times, it can be very entertaining and even funny. The only reason people really don't like it is because it ignores almost everything that happened in the previous movie to make a standalone story that doesn't connect to the first or third movie in any way. Finn or anyone else is never mentioned in Cars 3, and Mater never uses his rockets that Finn let him keep. In conclusion, Cars 2 is not a bad movie, but Pixar should have just created a new franchise instead of just using Cars again. Also, the actor that plays Finn, Michael Caine, also plays Alfred in the Christian Bale Batman movies. I didn't know that until now.